So I was going through some things and I was upset. I was angry. I was praying. I was like, Lord, you see this. You see this. So it's like, what do you do in this time? Like, how do I have my heart in a way that I can be peaceful, kind, and multiply the fruits of the Spirit if I'm hurting this bad? And last night I went to bed and I was just, I was upset. I was just, not feeling it. And so this morning I woke up and I'm like, my spirit was just like, forgive him. Because at first I wasn't hearing none of that. I was not hearing none of that. I was like, no. Not necessarily no. It just didn't even cross my mind to forgive them so I could be at peace. I was so upset with what was happening and what has been going on. I just forgot all about forgiveness. And I'm usually the one, telling people, maybe you should forgive them for your own sake. And so now I'm taking my own advice. And that's one thing about it, that I take my own advice. Even if it takes me a little second to spin around the block again, because it's applying to me too, it still helps. I woke up, was like, okay, I can do that. And it doesn't matter if I forgive them, I don't have to allow them back the same way. Because I know what I'm talking about. I may not be 100% right, but I have enough faith. I have enough evidence. I am in touch with myself. I am in tune with myself to know when I'm not tripping. I had to learn that I can't go to everybody. When it was a sermon that I was watching, and if I'm not mistaken, it was from Transformation Church. It was an old church, before all this, an old sermon before all this stuff was going on with their church. And basically it was just like, just because you're forgiving, you don't have to allow them in the same bag. That wasn't the point, but something told me to reiterate that. But it was basically like, it'll come back to me. We'll come back to that. But it's just, God has been really working on me. And you have to recognize who you are as a person to really dig down and be like, stand 10 toes on your values. You know who you are. You know what you have done. You know your heart posture, your intention. You know all of this. Forgiveness is not always easy. Sometimes you have to forgive somebody without an apology. That's what it was. That's what it was. Sometimes you have to forgive people without an apology. And sometimes that be looking like, bro, like what? What? That's what we doing? But when we are activating the fruits of our spirit, which you can find in Galatians 5:22, I want to be gentle. I want to be kind 24/7. I want to, oh my goodness, that was my bag. And that was my bag. But God makes no mistakes. And in my heart, I know who I am. I don't want to be angry all the time. Well, I'm not even angry all the time. I have to forgive myself for allowing things to happen. I have to give myself grace. And I'm extending that to somebody else. Give yourself grace. Give yourself compassion. Be nice to yourself. You got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and own all the parts of you. That's a part of self-love. Loving yourself through the ugly, through the bad, through the good, through the joy, through the downfalls and upfalls and all that stuff. I'll put them together. You have to love yourself accordingly. Love yourself. I don't know who this is for, and I pray this touch somebody, because God makes no mistakes. The way the circumstances are going is how you think about it. It's how you come about it. I was watching a TikTok from one of my Christian friends or whatever, one of my friends that I'm like in Bible study with. And she was talking about, your heart posture. Your heart posture matters. And me personally, I don't want to mess up my blessing because I'm over here being angry about something and God is the one fighting my battles. Take your hand out of it. Take your hand out of it. Give God room to work. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna make mistakes. Sometimes It's inevitable. We are humans. But one thing about it, you have to love yourself and forgive yourself in order to move, to grow, to heal. Sometimes you not gonna get the closure. Sometimes you not gonna get that apology. Sometimes they're not going to change. Sometimes they will never see what you see, what you're aware of, what you know, what you've seen, any of that. But it takes a spirit of healing and grace and strength from God in order for you to get to that spot. God makes no mistakes. You are loved. You are healed. It may not feel like that, but that's why he says to not rely on sight, but by faith. Look at your faith. Keep walking every single step, because one step without faith, it could be detrimental. And I am speaking from experience. That's what it was. Okay, I know earlier in the video I said it was have a little talk with Jesus. It was in the sermon, and it was just like, we have this thing where we have to talk to somebody physical. We have to talk to this person, that person. And although that is not a bad thing, but God can also, not God, well, God too, but Satan is also hearing what you're saying too, and he can use your loved ones against you. And guess what? Your loved ones don't even know that they're being used. That's where that grace and compassion comes from. That's where you being firm in your spirit comes from. To be able to decipher what's what. When I tell you God is amazing, God don't play. He is the one that he knew you before you were in your mother's womb, sweet child. Baby, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I love you, and I pray that you have peace, protection, and healing over you. It's not going to be fun, but I would rather you move forward than backwards. Don't be stagnant. It's okay. You're not by yourself. I will never tell somebody to heal and then not give them tools to help them heal. That's just not what it is. I love you, and I pray that God touches your heart. I pray this helps somebody, because I know there is somebody out there that needs help, and I pray it gets to them. I love y'all. Smile, be happy, and be blessed.